Number 2. Number 2 says, find the exact trig values for theta if the terminal side of the angle goes through 3, -7. Here's number 2. 3, 1, 2, 3, -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is the point.
Yeah.
The terminal side of the angle goes through that point. Here's an angle measure. Find the exact trig values for that. Okay, well, we always draw our triangles to the x-axis, right? And if we draw it to the x-axis, we know that this top part is 3 and the side is 7, and we don't worry about the positives and negatives. We'll do our all students take calculus for the positive negatives. So here's the triangle we're working with. We're going to finish the triangle. I'm going to take the triangle out. This is 3, this is 7, so what is this going to be right here?
Square root of 58.
Thank you. You all know how to get that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So sine of this angle, we're going to use this angle, which is our reference angle. Sine of theta is going to be
7 times the square
7
root of
over root 58. So that's got to turn into 7
root 58 over 58.
over 58. Okay, what's the cosine? Theta.
3 root 58 over 58.
3 root 58 over 58. What's the tangent?
7 over 3. Where did I know that?
7 over 3. What's the cotangent?
3 over 7.
3 over 7. What's the secant? Now go back to your
Root.
drawing.
Root 58 over 3.
Root 58 over 3. And what's the cosecant?
Root 58 over 7.
Root 58 over 7. Now, which quadrant are we in?
4.
Fourth quadrant. All students take calculus. So what's positive there?
Cosine and
Cosine and
secant.
secant. So everything else we make negative. Negative, 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 negative. Okay? You will either have all of them negative or 4 of them negative. Right? You will never just have 2 of them be negative. Yes?
Is your reference angle always one closest to the x-axis?
Wait, I have to repeat that. You will either have them all positive or you will have 4 negative. You will never have them all negative. I'm sorry, what?
Is the reference angle the one closest to the x-axis? Like
Always.
besides the 90-degree angle?
Always.
Okay.
Yes. Always draw your triangle to the x-axis. Always measure your angles to the x-axis.
You get that one?
Number 3.
Do we have questions on number 2?
Wait,
Yes.
remember how it was in like quadrant 4 you said, right? What would it be if it was like greater than 0? Like on the last test? Would it be like...
If you look at number 3, I think that's what you're considering. Look at number 3.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. What? I got some milk out of my refrigerator.
3, we have secant of theta equals negative 13 over 6. And theta is between 0 and pi. Find the other 5 trig values. Okay? Well, we need sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, cosecant. Secant we already have at negative 13 over 6. What's the other one we can find right away without even thinking?
Cosine. Cosine.
Cosine.
Cosine is what?
16,
6 over 3.
6
Negative.
over 13, but keep it negative. Okay, we have those two. So we know that our theta is in the top. Theta is between 0 and pi. So theta has to be in one of these, right? Now this one, secant is negative. Where would secant be negative?
Sine. Second quadrant.
Second quadrant. Because everything's positive here, so we know we're in the second quadrant. Who's good with that? Okay.
Excuse the interruption. Hope, Prince, if you are still on campus, please report to the attendance office. Hope, Prince, please report to the attendance office. Thank you.
Okay. So your cosine is 6 over 13. So here's an angle measure, generic triangle. What can I label here?
Your adjacent is 6 and your hypotenuse is 13.
Can we find this side?
Yes.
We're gonna have to. 13 squared minus 6 squared is going to equal b squared, right? 169 minus 36, so it's 133.
Root 3.
Radical equals b. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now with that, we can go get all our other ratios. So looking at the sine, we're going to look at 133 over 13. 133 over 13. So the cosecant would be
13 root 30 root 133 over 133.
Those are both going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, because sine is positive in the second. Okay, we have that. So tangent now, opposite over adjacent. So we've got a root 133 over 6. What's our cotangent?
6 root 133 over 133.
And those are both
Negative. Yeah, negative.
negative. Are we going too fast?
No.
Okay, number 4. Find the reference angle for 157 degrees and 13 pi over 8. So it's a two-part.
A quick question, why is the tangent cotangent negative 2?
Because we're in the second quadrant,
Oh, okay.
all students.
You want that?
Okay, number 4. Find the reference angle of 157 degrees. 157. I suggest that you sketch that first. Where is 157 going to be?
The second quadrant.
Second quadrant, okay? So we're going to be someplace over here. We want a reference angle. Now, Edvin already told us something about the something about the reference angles.
Has to go down to the x-axis. Has to go down to the x-axis.
We're going to draw it down to the x-axis, and your angle measure
23.
is the acute one.
23.
So, how do we find this if we know this is 157?
Minus 180.
180 minus 157 degrees is going to give us 23 degrees for the reference angle. Who's got that?
I have a question.
Matt?
For that one, for a second, wait, why is it in the second quadrant again?
This is 90 degrees.
Yeah.
This is 180 degrees. Is this that one you were talking about?
Huh?
Or were you talking
Yeah,
about
that one.
this problem number 3?
Yeah,
Okay, why did we stop in the second quadrant?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, do you see how theta is between 0 and pi?
Oh,
So
okay.
0 and pi had to be the top, so that's why the black is shaded. But our secant is negative. So everything's positive here, so it can't be the first, it's gotta be that one.
Thank you.
Okay, we need the reference angle for 13 pi over 8. 13 pi over 8 is the angle measure, so
Wait. That's the answer, 23?
23 is the reference angle, yeah.
Thank you.
So where is this one going to be?
Fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant.
Fourth.
This will give us 8, and then we need 5 more. Well, 4 would be halfway, so we're going to be over here in the fourth quadrant, yes.
And then the other angle is 67.5.
So this angle,
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
we're working in radians, my dear,
I know.
is the one that we're trying to find. Right in here. How do we find a reference angle?
13 pi minus 2 pi.
2 pi minus 13 pi over 8. Okay with that?
Yeah.
The big one minus the small one, the whole thing, and then minus that black part. So it's going to be 16 pi over 8 minus 13 pi over 8, which will give us 3 pi over 8. Now, if the question is asked in radians, Evelyn, then you must answer in radians. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I have a question. Because I was doing that problem and then I looked back into my notes because I wasn't sure. And in my notes, it's the same thing. It's like find the reference angle of theta equals 213 and then another one equals 1.7. And over here I have written down pi minus theta and then theta minus 180.
Correct.
What
That's
is
when you're in
that?
the third quadrant. We're in the fourth quadrant, so that's 2 pi minus theta.
So,
This is pi minus theta, this is theta minus pi, and this is 2 pi minus theta. It was quiet, wasn't it?
Where were you?
Get my phone.
Alright.
what about the first quadrant?
You don't need a reference angle, it's already a reference angle. You don't have to do anything if it's in the first quadrant.
Thank you.
You just answered it.
So if it's here, you just keep it. It's just theta. Yes,
And if it's degrees, it's just 180 minus theta, and then theta minus 180, and then 360 minus theta. Okay.
okay, 5.
I don't get it.
Do this one yourself, please. I totally think you can do this one.
No, I tried it.
Isn't it second?
It's either second.
Who votes for quadrant 1? Who votes for quadrant 4? Who votes for quadrant 2? Who votes for quadrant 3? Cosine is negative. Where's cosine negative? Sine. This is cosecant, also known as sine, is positive. Where's sine positive?
2 and 1.
Quadrant 2.
Wait.
Oh.
Let's go on.
Hey, give me.
Okay.
I think that was my boundary.
Isn't that?
No binders in here. I'm kidding. Oh. Because there's like binders all over the place, I'm thinking good luck looking for it now, but who put it up there, Sahib?
No,
Close the door.
I think he did.
I
when he was
did.
drawing on the board. No, I think he did.
Or 2.
Okay, number 6. Tangent of theta equals negative root 3. We want to find 2 exact values of theta. What is theta? An angle measure. Okay? Okay, it's an angle measure. But the tangent of that angle measure would give us negative radical 3.